Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I was not concentrating there as the page went live. I was just having a look, and something just caught my eye on social media. But I'm just going to refresh the page so that I'm ready to share and chat about my day. So, what sort of day has everybody else had? Let's just do this. So. My day has been, sorry, who have we got coming in there? Hi Sarah, hi Terry, nice to see you coming in. I did say just now that I was going to be live in 5 minutes, but actually I think it was about 10 or 15 minutes. I've been out and I just got home, wasn't sure whether I was going to be home. Hi Sandy, in time to do a live stream, but I thought, well, I don't know, I'll do a quick update. And then it took me a few minutes to get organised, but I've had no difficulty with connection issues today like I had yesterday, so that's good news. So let's have a look what I've put as my title: Family Time, a little reminiscing, a knitting update, the Bodster Brigade and Ryde Business Association. So I thought I hadn't actually done very much today, but the title makes it look like I had. Hi Mo. So family time, yes. So my family time today was lunch out with my mum and my brother at Kiva's Cafe in Ryde. And if you live on the island and you haven't been to Kiva's Cafe, you need to go. I spend a lot of my time there, and it is very nice, clean cafe. Hi Mo. And so I had some family time, and then the reminiscing bit, so that was nice, but the reminiscing bit was my oh my goodness, I didn't realise, there was more reminiscing than I thought. Oh my goodness. My brother David has been turning out some papers, and I saw this paper. I didn't realise there were some more papers underneath. Now this paper is the Gazette, Friday, August the 1st, 1986. So that's quite a few years ago. In fact, I'm not going to do the maths because I probably get it wrong. And there's a picture there of 5 little girls. Now, those 5 little girls were 5 little girls from the nursery school I used to run. And what I used to do, I used to do shows with them. Twice a year. And how that came about, I think I've mentioned this to you before. Hi Steve. But yes, I think I've mentioned before that my son Tristan, who some of you will know from being on the broadcast. Hi Ian, who he broadcasts a lot and is very good on the social media and productivity side. Does lots of live streaming and taught me to do the same. So when he was 3, he was in my parents' school. My parents, hi Jenny, hi Sarah, everybody's saying hello. Do a big hello now. Yes, so Tristan, when he was 3, hi Janet, he was in my 3 or 4. He was in my parents' school. My parents ran a small private school in London, and I ran a nursery school. But he went to their school when I think he must have been about 4. And one day his teacher did a little circus performance with the children. And I was so impressed because I thought, well, actually the children in the nursery there are the same age as the children in my nursery school. So I thought I'd have a bit of fun. So I copied. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And hi Karen. And so I decided to start to try a little. We did a little circus too, and it was amazing. It was wonderful. I didn't realise that from that little one event just how much the children would get out of it. I did it for a bit of fun, but actually the learning and the whole educational stuff that came out of doing something like that was absolutely amazing. And also it meant what happened was the children were able to, a lot of them were coming up to, when we did this, a lot of them were coming up to going into their first primary school. And what it gave them, it gave them so much confidence to make that change from going from nursery into the school. And so I built on that. I used to sew, do a lot of sewing, and I made costumes. And so each time we did a new show, I'd try and adapt some of the costumes that I'd already used and use some new ones. Had an amazing time with it. I was fortunate too at that time, around that time, my daughter was in a dance school and they did shows, and we had to produce costumes, and I met some lovely ladies who ran a fabric shop, who showed me hi Karen, who showed me the skills of how to make beautiful costumes with the minimum amount of fabric, and cutting all the corners. I don't mean literally cutting the corners, but cutting the corners of how to make a beautiful costumes with, you know, as I say, on the minimum amount of fabric and stuff. So I learned loads of tricks through that. So I made all the costumes for all our shows, and we did so many shows. We did a circus. We went round the world. So we had, you know, when we went round the world, we would go. We'd be the soldiers changing the guard at Buckingham Palace. I had the children doing the can-can in France. We did flamenco dancing from Spain. I think we did the mouse, what's the one? The mouse in Amsterdam, the little mouse in the windmill. We did Amsterdam. We went round. We did Chinese songs. We did all sorts of things. I had a ball, and so did the children, and it was amazing what they were able to learn and retain. And this is one of the cuttings from the paper that my my brother found. And so we were very lucky. We used to get in the paper, we get, you know, and this is all free advertising. So my nursery school, because our children were cooperative, the photographer, the county press photographer, not the county press because I didn't live on the island, this was the Ealing Gazette. I used to live in West London, and they used to love taking pictures of the nursery children. And so we used to get, I think every show we did, bar one, the photographer turned up to take our pictures, or take the children's pictures. And the last one, hi Elaine, the last one, we actually sent a picture in, and they printed it. They just hadn't got time to send a photographer. But, you know, this. I'm in marketing now, but, you know, I've always been in marketing in a way. And this was all just free advertising. Hi, Angela. So these little girls, I mean, this paper was Friday, August the 1st, 1986. I wonder what these little girls are doing now. Hi, Sunita. I really do. Who's that? You lived in Greenford for a couple of years. Oh, Karen, my background is Ealing. No, I was born in Greenford. Moved to Ealing when I was 2, back to Greenford, back to Ealing, and then back, then back to, I think back to Greenford, and then down to the Isle of Wight. Yes, that's right, yes. So I have, you know, West London was my home for many years. I've been on the Isle of Wight for 18 years. But I would wonder where these little girls are now. I wonder if I could trace them and find out. So this one was the school's garden show. It said no butterflies in the stomach for these girls, pictured. They were butterflies, actually. We did an English country garden on this one. Legion Road I lived. I'm not quite sure where it is. Try and explain where it is. I lived in Birkbeck Avenue, which was over the other side of the Western Avenue, was on the Perivale side of the Western Avenue. I'll see if I can locate it, Karen. So this one was, they took part in the final fling before the holidays at Parkview Nursery School, Parkview Road, Ealing. The theme was in an English country garden. Dressing as butterflies, Lisa Towers, Tessa Thompson, Yasmin Mahmood, Catherine Bradbury, all aged 4, and Peggy Baker, aged 3. But of course, yes, I wasn't far off the A40. I'll have a look. And then underneath this, there was another picture. And this one, well, now there's a story to this costume. Let me read you this. Nursery children bring toys to life. So this is when we had a toy cupboard. That the clock struck midnight and all the toys came to life. And this was an amazing, I loved this one. And don't forget, all the children were under 5. And we did some amazing routines, because you can train children very easily. And I didn't realise when I first started how good it would be and what fun it would be. So it says, toys sprang into life at Christmas at a Christmas play staged by nursery school children. Toddlers from the Parkview Nursery School in Parkview Road, Ealing, played rag dolls, sailors, crayons and teddy bears in the school's first ever Christmas production. Oh, this is one of my early ones. This was Friday, December the 27th, 1985. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Leanne. 4-year-old Caroline Brooks took the star role of Rainbow Bright, who led the toys out of the cupboard after dark. Parents and friends made up the audience, and school leader Mrs. Marilyn Griffiths, as I was then, Marilyn is my full name, but my surname was Griffiths at the time, said, "This year was the first time we tried anything ambitious with our circus production in the summer." So this is the first year of doing these shows. "We set such a high standard for ourselves, it was jolly difficult to follow up, but we think we've done it. The school has had to put on 7 performances so all the parents could get to see it." And because the nursery school was run in my home and not a great big hall, that's why we had to do 7 performances. Now this costume, I don't know if any of you remember the doll Rainbow Bright, but it was a wonderful costume to make, and it was all rainbow colours, and it was all it was puffed, it was all stuffed up the arm. But I made the costume, but I didn't have time to make the wig. And this little girl, Caroline Brooks, and I wonder where she is now. Her mum thought it was very disappointing if we had the dress and not the wig. So she went off and made the wig for me. That's made out of wool. And so, you know, it was an amazing costume, this one. I had a pattern. I didn't make it up from nothing. So that was in my first year of shows in my nursery school. So in 1985. I ran my nursery school from when did I do it? 1979 to 77 to 91, I think I ran it. And does that make 21? I ran it for 21 years anyway. Maths is not my strong point. And so we just had a huge amount of fun. And but this costume went on for another story. And those of you who know Tristan, I mean, you might have heard me tell this story before, I'm not sure. But when Tristan was 4, so it must have been around this time, just after we'd had this show, we went on holiday to a holiday camp somewhere. And I knew that they did fancy dress costumes there. So I said to him, "Shall we have a bit of fun?" And he said yes, because he's always been up for having a bit of fun. And so I took this costume with me on holiday. And so when the fancy dress costume competition came up, I said to him, "You sure you want to do this?" So he said yes. So he went in the competition in this dress and the hat, the wig. And he came. I don't know whether he won or he came in second place. I can't remember, but he got a prize. And so the compere came along and asked the children their names. And so he asked Tristan his name, and he said, "Tristan, and my name's Tristan." And the guy said, "But that's a boy's name." So he whipped it off his head, and he said, "But I am a boy," and brought the house down. And he's been a bit of a clown ever since, probably a bit like his mum. So anyway, so that was this is really nice, this bit of reminiscing when because these are things that my brother. I've lost the other one. There it is. So that was from the nursery school, and this, oh my goodness, this one is 1986. This is not nursery school one. This is me. Look at this. This is me and my daughter. Oh my goodness, what hairdo I had. This is my daughter, who's now the mother of my 4 grandchildren. And this is me. And we went in a competition on holiday, and it said, "Mum's the word for daughter Natasha." It says, "An Ealing mother and her pretty 8-year-old daughter found themselves the star attractions when they went on holiday. For Lynn Griffiths," because that's my surname was Griffiths at the time, "and daughter Natasha won a competition to find the most attractive mother and child." Oh, I didn't write this. Hi, Tina. Most attractive mother and child at a holiday camp on the south coast. The Griffiths family live in Parkview, Ealing, and Natasha is a pupil at nearby Notting Hill and Ealing High School. So as I say, hi, Sharon. I'm doing a bit of reminiscing. Those of you coming late to the broadcast, I saw my brother at lunchtime, and he produced some old cuttings from newspapers that I didn't know still even existed. So that was a little bit of reminiscing from my nursery school and from my time when my children were little. I have got loads of cuttings that I have kept, but these ones must have escaped the pile, so that was really nice to see. I do wonder what those children are doing now. But my nursery school I ran for 21 years, and 21 very happy years, most of them. In the end, it was killed off, not by me, but it became a job that was actually too much paperwork. You know, I had to do so much paperwork in the end, and also the schools were then taking children in younger, so you know, there weren't as many children. We still did very well, but I decided to give up. I hate paperwork, especially when it's paperwork for paperwork's sake. So that was it. You know, I gave up. But I did 21 years. I would love to know where some of those children are now. I started that nursery school when Toby, who's my oldest boy, he's 42 now, I think, and he was 18 months old when I started that nursery school, and we did have loads and loads of fun. But as I say, it got killed off in the end because of paperwork, and I don't like paperwork. So anyway, and I think I gave it a good time. So that was my memorabilia that I put in. That's what I put in my title. Let's have a look. My title says Family Time, a Little Reminiscing. So we've done that. Now a knitting update for those of you who've been watching my knitting progress. And I've been out to the Ryde Business Association meeting tonight, and something came up about knitting and about a lot of knitting or something, and Zoe, who's chair of the Ryde Business Association, said, well, if Lynn starts now, I think it was a huge project. I don't know whether it's knitting bunting. Ryde is hosting the UK Pride event this year. I don't know whether it was knitting bunting for the town or what. I don't know, but I know it was a bit of a joke tonight. So I've got to send off this. I haven't sent it yet. If David's looking, David Baker, he's ordered this little crab. It's got to go in the post tomorrow. He saw that when I was doing some knitting, and he said he wanted that and he would make a donation to charity. Then somebody else saw my squid. Now, the other day I showed you this, but actually it's got an extra leg. It's got an extra tentacle now, look. And it's got another tentacle on the needles here. So that's what I haven't had a lot of knitting time today. I didn't didn't do much, but I did do the next one. And I've got to give you the knitting progress. Wait a minute. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah, some of you have seen these before, these teddies, but I've started sewing them all up, and then they've got to have scarves and faces, so sorry, a notification's just flashed down on the screen and it put me off. So I've got to finish these off. These teddies are going abroad for children who don't have any toys. There's the teddy knitters on the island. They met this afternoon. No, I don't knit jumpers, only jumpers for little toys. I knit jumpers for little toys like this, but I find jumpers and that sort of thing boring. I like to do all the fun stuff, and all I do here, Sarah, I do it for charity. I knit cakes, I knit sausages. Some of you have seen these before, so if you have, pardon me for those people who haven't seen them. I knit ice creams. Whoa! These ice creams were on a hat, decorating a hat, and then they were decorating my Lilac Lil at the weekend when I had to pimp up for those of you who don't know, Lilac Lil is my trolley, my shopping trolley, but I also use it as a walker because I'm not quite as good as walking as I was, and also it holds my knitting bag, my camera equipment, because I do all the live streaming, and I have all sorts of things to carry, so it carries all that. So but this weekend, for those of you who were not familiar with what I was up to, I was invited to pimp up my wheels and decorate my trolley, and the ice creams then went from the silly hat that I'd made 2 or 3 weeks earlier onto the trolley this weekend. But these now will be up for sale. Any food that I make, and I've got sandwiches and all sorts, any food that I make, I get donations for our hospice. Yes, all the food is calorie free. and I make it for the food goes for the, sorry, the donations for the food go for our hospice. The teddies, as I say, are going abroad for children who haven't got any. So it's all different things I do. What have I got? There's a biscuit. I think you've seen the biscuit before, the choc chip cookie. I found a whole pile of stuff. Look, I've got a whole pile of half knitted bits here, because sometimes when I'm on the bus, I'll knit little bits, and then I make them up later. Now, here's a chip. Here's another chip. I put them all in a box because I thought that way I'd know where they all were, because they were all over the place. So I got some chips here. More chips with everything. And then what else? Oh, this was a bucket that was decorating my hat and then my trolley the other day. A bucket with a shell on it. What else have I got in here? Whoopsie. Now this is some tomato sauce. So tomato sauce. You'll have to see these when they're finished. This is some lettuce. Whoops. Oh dear, it's all got tangled up. Look, looks like the cat got at it, but I don't have a cat. The tomato sauce and the lettuce, they go in a burger, but I haven't finished the burger. So I haven't finished the burger yet. And then I think these are little biscuits I've got to finish off. No, they're not. They're sausage rolls. They're going to be sausage rolls. All right, like that. And then they're going on the floor. And then I've got a whole load of little squares like this. These are going to be penguins. I made these ages ago and I tucked them in the side of my knitting bag. Forgot they were there, so I'm going to be making all these up. I think that's supposed to be a tomato. It's a pretty bright tomato, isn't it? So there's all sorts of bits in there. Let's put them all back in. So, oops. Let's put them all back in so that I clear my desk and I can see what I'm supposed to be talking about. And then, as I say, this is one of a family of 7. Several of you have seen that already. Hi, Ramona. And this is there's a family of 7. They're scarecrow dolls. And she's just got to have her bubbles still. And when these are done, these are going off to the White Brainy Bunch as we're going to do some sort of raffle. I've got to think, because I want them to get maximum amount of money out of them, and there are 7 in the family. So but all these things are so simple to make, and I just love it. It's very relaxing for me. Oh, excuse me, I'm hot. It was cold out when I came home tonight. It was very cold again. So yeah, so this is very therapeutic to me, knitting. And I'm going to be doing, on Friday morning, if anybody on the island wants to learn to knit or wants to natter while I knit, I'm going to be in Kiva's Cafe, offering to teach anybody to knit, or just they can have coffee and natter while I knit. So that's on Friday morning. I'm going to be doing that on a regular basis. There's a girl I met on the bus who wants to learn to knit, but she couldn't make it on this week or next week, but I'm going to make another arrangement for teaching her to knit. I want to get the Isle of Wight knitting, or anybody else who wants to learn to knit. And look, I found this. Happiness is homemade. I mean, it's actually a rolling pin, but I think it should be in a pair of knitting needles, don't you? Happiness is homemade. So I do enjoy it. I've taught my grandchildren to knit, and hopefully they will continue that skill on, because it would be really nice to see them doing lots and lots of things. So one of my granddaughters has had a sewing machine not last Christmas before. She asked, "You're not unteachable, Sarah." That's a challenge, and I accept the challenge. I will teach you to knit. If you can make it on Friday, we'll have a go and see how we get on. And so there we are. I have one attendee. she thinks she's unteachable. No, I accept a challenge. I like a challenge. Don't forget, I've been a teacher for 21 years. I've had some pretty challenging children to teach then. So now I think you'll be easy. One victim. Oh dear, don't see it like that. Okay, so I look forward to that, Sarah. I'll arrange with you what time we're going to meet up. Yes, so for me, she could be a limited belief. Yes, you see, you mustn't have limited belief. You must believe you can do it, Sarah. That's what Karen's saying there. You believe in yourself, and you will be able to do it. We will actually look. There we are. I'm going to say it now on public broadcast. We are going to get you to knit, and then we're going to show the people what you knitted. There we go. So she'll recoil and she won't meet me on Fridays. Sorry, Sarah. We will have fun, and if not, we'll just laugh about it. Oh no, you don't. No. Come on, you've got to stretch yourself. You see, that's what I did with the nursery children. They, some of them felt they couldn't do things, especially when we were doing the show, and I just encouraged them more and more and more, and they achieved great things. I didn't teach nursery children to knit. I taught them to sew and do other things, but we didn't actually knit. But it would be nice to get more people knitting. So, right, okay, so that was that's how I spend a lot of my time. I've been doing some client work this afternoon again, because I manage some social media accounts, so got it on with a bit more of that. And tonight I've been to the Ryde Business Association meeting. Lots going on over there, and I videoed it. So anybody who wants to see what went on at the Ryde Business Association meeting tonight, let me know, because I can link you to the videos I took. I'm delighted to know that Zoe's taking over. Zoe's the chair of Ryde Business Association, and she's taking over the Ryde page of on the Visit Isle of Wight website, which means it will get updated, which is great, and we might see a lot more content to show off our beautiful Ryde. And now, so I've given you, I'm looking at the titles here: Family Time, A Little Reminiscing, a Knitting Update. You've had all of that, and you've had the Ryde Business Association. Now, the Bodster Brigade, it says. Wait a minute, Sarah, it's one step. Yeah, absolutely. So those of you who've been watching in the broadcast recently, or fairly recently, couldn't have failed to see that if you've been regular watchers, can't have failed to see that I was promoting a community interest company called Bodster, and they were in the running for almost £50,000 of the People's Lottery money, and in the end it went to public vote, and there was what I call Team Bodster. Joe and Giles had Team Bodster out there promoting, asking anybody and everybody to vote for them, and we won. We were one of the 3 groups that got the funding. There were 5 in the group, and 3 got the top funding, and the other 2 got a small amount of funding. So everybody got something to get to the last 5. But obviously the big money can do lots more. And so today, Joe has sent me across the numbers of votes, and it is so exciting because we were up against bigger communities. We're little Isle of Wight down here. We don't have a huge community, but we do have a huge network, including all of you people watching in. So whether you're here on the island or whether you're over on the UK mainland, anybody UK wise was able to vote. Unfortunately, we couldn't. Hi, David. We couldn't count the global people. Globally, couldn't vote. It was only UK, which was a shame because I had some global people who would have voted. But it didn't matter because we came in with, and this was a number. The total number of votes for the Meridian West area was 8,041, of which Bodster, the Whispering Ponies charity, got 3,476. The next one down got 1,310. And the third one with votes cast was 1,283. So we came in, let me just see if I can find it. I haven't written this bit down. Hang on, let me just see if I can. We came in with more than 2,000 votes above the next one down. So the small community, the little Isle of Wight, beat 2 in Brighton, 1 in Portsmouth and 1 in Bournemouth, which are all much bigger communities. And we had over over 2,000 more votes than the second place. So the Little Isle of Wight smashed it. The Team Bodster smashed it. So any of you who voted or shared that vote, you know, grateful thanks. And if you didn't, if you're in the broadcast and you didn't know about it, I'm sure you would have done. You would have voted, but we smashed it. And Whispering Ponies is now just waiting for the money to come in. And they've got £48,335 coming to them. And I think that they had to put in a bid for a specific amount and explain what the money was for. So that was fantastic. Whispering Ponies came top of the voting in the Meridian West. And that shows what a fantastic community we have here, of which I am delighted to come and chat to you time and time again. Oh right, yes, Jenny, you are. Sorry, that's right. There's Jenny saying she's team back. Yes, I've forgotten that you were. And wasn't it amazing? Did you know those results before I read them out, Jenny? You knew we won, but I don't know if you knew that we'd actually absolutely smashed it. You know, I mean the Hi, Ellen. The ITV man said he thought that we'd come top on the votes, and it's just been confirmed today. So that's really nice. And you know, team, it was a privilege, wasn't it, Jenny, to be part of Team Bodster? It was absolute privilege. And for me to be invited to the opening of the envelope, that was an absolute honour. The hardest bit of that was, once I knew that that Team Bodster had smashed it, I had to keep my mouth shut from it was about 11:15 on Wednesday until after 6 o'clock on Thursday. That was so hard. And when finally the news broke and it had gone out on ITV, then somebody messaged me and said it was okay. Oh, I think Joe messaged me and said it was okay to tell. I was on a tram in Manchester at the time. And so when we got off the tram, my son and I said, sorry, I've got to stop on the tram station and I've got to do a live broadcast and tell everybody. But of course, I'd already knew the result, but wasn't allowed to tell. Anyway, that was very exciting. So that's probably a catch up with everything that needs updating up to date. So do let me know what everybody else is up to. Let me know if there's any things that you particularly want to talk about. If any of you want to join me on broadcast or want me to interview you, please let me know, because it isn't always about what I'm doing. Let's share some of the news. I have to have a meeting with a friend of mine. We've tried to have this meeting to arrange a sort of broadcast that we're going to interview quite a few people on the island, but we didn't get the meet. Other people arrived at the meeting. It didn't matter, but we didn't get to talk about what we wanted to do because other people joined us. It was fun. It was lovely having other people joining us, but we didn't actually get to do that. So I will be doing. I will be having that meeting with my friend and sorting out who we're going to interview on that one. That one is two of us, and it might be that might be around some of the more controversial issues. Yes, so yes, we can do another one, Karen, at some stage. I've got a few other people that are going to come on broadcast, so I just need to get some dates into the diary and get sorted on that one. So we will do some more interviews. So as my voice is about to give up, I think I better stop there. Lovely to see everybody in the broadcast or joining me again. It's funny, some nights lots of people come in, some nights I get a smaller number. Sometimes people come in very quickly at the beginning of the broadcast. Sometimes it's quite a while before anybody joins us, but it doesn't matter. It's all there on the replay if anybody wants it. But I do value the time that you come in and spend with me. And the interaction, it's lovely to see the interaction and see you dropping your comments in. If you don't drop comments in, it doesn't matter. No, I don't say you have to. Some people like to just watch, and that's perfectly fine. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I'm going to get myself a nice drink. I don't mean an alcoholic drink because I don't need that. I just need some nice drink. I don't know, cup of tea. I think maybe a cup of tea. And I hopefully will be here tomorrow night. I don't think there's any reason why I shouldn't. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Love you all. See you soon.